Is it better to save for retirement or invest for retirement? Saving for retirement and investing for retirement are quite related, but they are not the same. So the major difference is how your money grows and the level of risk that is involved. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be explaining to you what it means to save for retirement and then invest for retirement. And if you're a 9 to 5 worker or a civil servant, this video is very, very important. You need to watch it from the beginning to the end, because what I'm about to explain to you is something that will help you to plan your retirement. So first of all, let's understand what it means to save for retirement. So saving basically means putting aside a portion of money in a safe place where it can be protected and easily accessible. So take for instance that you work 9 to 5. That money that you save on monthly basis for your retirement is what we call saving for retirement. So you can take maybe 10% of your monthly earning, possibly you earn like 200,000 on monthly basis. Now that portion you normally take from your salary and then put it in a saving which can either be bank is what we call saving for retirement. And now there are types of saving that we have. We have savings account, we have fixed deposit, and then we have pension saving. So these are the way that you can save your money for your retirement. Here are some of the features of saving. First is that it has a low risk. So when compared to investing for retirement, when you save for retirement, there's a low risk because when you put your money in the bank, that money is protected. You are sure that nothing will happen to it in the bank. Another feature is that it is very stable and predictable. So the money that you put in your bank on monthly basis is going to be very safe because you are sure that nothing will happen to it. And also it is predictable. At the end of the month or maybe at the end of every year, you know a certain amount that you're going to have in your bank account depending on the money that you are saving on monthly basis. So it's very stable and it's also predictable. Now, another feature of savings is that it has a low returns. So compared to investing for retirement or any kind of investment, you notice that the money you get from investment is much higher when compared to saving. Now, savings normally have a fixed interest rate, especially when you are putting your money in the bank. So for banking system, they normally give 5 to 8% for savings, and then for fixed deposits, normally get 8 to 12%. So if you compare that to people who are investing, you notice that you're going to get lower returns compared to people who are investing. So these three are actually the features of saving. So when you save in the bank, you will get a low return. It is going to be stable and predictable, and then you have a low risk compared to someone who is investing. Now, here's what you need to understand. When you save, your money grows slowly with the interest that is accrued to your savings. But there's a secret that you don't really know about, and most bankers will not tell you. That money you are putting in the bank and saving it for a period of time, it is being affected by inflation. And inflation is actually reducing the purchasing power of that money. And this is something that most people don't really know, because sometimes when you invest in the bank, you normally get an interest rate between 5 to 8%, or maybe 8 to 12%, whether it's savings or for fixed deposit. But when you compare that to an inflation rate of 20%, you notice that the money that you have in the bank is gradually losing value without your awareness. It is good to save in the bank, but when you save, also understand that on the other end, the inflation rate is already affecting the value of your money, thereby reducing the purchasing power of that money that you have in your account. So you might be asking, is this still better for me to save for retirement? It is very good. And on the other end, there's a better alternative to saving for retirement, and that is investing for retirement. Investing basically means putting your money in an asset that has the potential to grow significantly over time. So when you buy things like real estate, when you buy things like mutual funds, bonds, or even invest in businesses that have the ability to give you significant returns in the future, that is basically investing. So you invest so that you can get higher return compared to the money you put into the investment. So the options where you can invest, examples are like real estate, you can invest in mutual funds, you can invest in bonds, you can invest in stocks. But before you invest in any of this, it is very important that you work with professionals. If you want to invest in real estate, work with people who are very experienced in real estate. Now, if you want to invest in stocks, work with people who are very experienced with stock market. They understand the stock market, they understand mutual funds, they understand bonds. So when you want to invest in any of this, it is very important that you work with people who are professionals in that particular field, so they will help you to advise you on a particular way to invest so that you don't lose your money. There are a good number of things that you need to understand when you want to invest for retirement. There are features that shows that you are investing for retirement. So when you invest for retirement, you're going to get high growth potential compared to someone who is saving for retirement. Because when you invest in things like real estate, where over time, as the value of your investment keep growing, you're going to get more returns on your investment compared to someone who is putting the money in the bank that has a fixed interest rate. So when you compare it, you know that investment is going to give you high growth potential. Now, another thing you need to understand is that investment can beat inflation. Things like real estate have been proven over the years to fight inflation, and it doesn't just fight inflation, it also helps you to increase the value of your investment. Take, for instance, you invested 1 million naira in real estate in a strategic location. Over time, as development keep coming to some location, the value of that your investment, that's your property, is going to increase in value. And then as it increases in value, it's also giving you more money, and then it is helping you fight inflation. So this is what you need to understand about investing for retirement. It beats inflation when compared to saving for retirement. So when you invest for retirement, it normally comes with high risk compared to someone who is saving. I mentioned earlier that someone who is saving in the bank, there's going to be the risk is quite low compared to someone who is saving. But if you are compared to someone who is investing, but if you are investing, you're going to get high risk. Reason being that there are some investments that you can make. For instance, stocks is more like a volatile kind of investment. So it can either go up or come down at any time. And the same with bonds and funds. So this kind of investment can give you high risk. But things like real estate, it has a high risk, but over time, it seems like the interest or the increase in value or the capital appreciation that will occur in that property seems to be on the positive end almost on all bases. It is very rare for the value of that property to go down. It's always going up. So you need to also understand there's a high risk factor when you are investing. Now you probably be asking yourself, is it better for me to invest for retirement or to save for retirement? Based on what I've explained to you so far, you'll be able to understand that it is better to invest for retirement because of the positive gains. Now, I mentioned earlier that when you invest for retirement, it's going to help you to fight inflation. And also, it's going to increase the value of your money, thereby giving you high growth potential. If you're an investor and you're thinking about, okay, what kind of investment should I go into? Then I will recommend that you go into real estate. Now, real estate has been proven over the years to fight against inflation. It has been proven over the years to give you a high return on your investment. It has also been proven over the years is a tangible asset that you can even transfer to your next generation. You can buy land today, and then in the next 5, 10 years, 20 years, then you can decide to transfer that to your children. Now, you can even use your real estate investment as a collateral to obtain loan. Many people have done this thing in the past. Sometimes when they want to start up a new project and they are in need of money, but they have a property somewhere, they will just use that property as a collateral to collect loan from a bank in order to start up their project. So these are the things that you need to understand about real estate as an investment sector for your retirement. Now, if you want to go into real estate for investment, now there are two ways that you can make money from it. So it's either through cash flow or through capital gain. So when we talk about cash flow, we are talking about things like rental apartment. Now you can buy land and then build on it for rental apartment. And once people start renting it, they'll be paying you on monthly or annual basis. You can even build short let apartment for people who just want to use the apartment over a period of time and then pay you for your service. You can also build hostels for students. So these are ways that you can make cash flow investment in real estate. So cash flow basically means any investment that has the ability to give you steady income, that steady passive income without you doing any particular thing on it. Then you can even have a land. If you don't want to build on it, you can decide to lease it. You can lease it to farmers. Once they use that farm, they will not have to pay you for that farm they are using over a period of time, depending on the agreement you have with them. You can even give it to people who are in need of it just as a parking space. So instead of leaving your land empty and very bare, you can rent it out or lease it for people to use it as a parking space. These are examples of cash flow investment in real estate. Then I talked about the capital gain as a second way of making money in real estate. So capital gain simply means buying a property like land and then hold that property over a period of time, possibly a couple of years. When the value of that property increases as development is coming into that location, then you can now decide to resell that your land so that you can get your capital and your profit. So example of this capital gain is what we call land banking. So land bank is one of the ways that you can get massive profit from your investment, even as an investor planning to invest for retirement. So imagine buying properties in a strategic location and then leaving that property to your retirement. Possibly you are 30 years. Imagine the next 30 or 35 years when you retire, what that property will be worth. So you can buy a property that is worth 5 million naira today and then leave that property in a strategic location, leave it for like 30 years, 35 years. Before the next 20, 30 years, that value of the property will be worth 10 times or even 15 times more than the price that you bought it. So these are ways that you can invest in real estate, and then you are sure that you are securing your future, and also you have a retirement plan for yourself. And if you're an investor, you're watching me and you're thinking of how do I start investing in real estate? I mean, how do I start planning for my retirement plan? I want to acquire properties in strategic location that will help me to plan for my retirement. Then you need to call the number showing on your screen. I will help you to get property that are in prime locations right here in the city of Enugu, where you can put your money, you're sure getting massive return on your investment. So my name is Obalek Emmanuel. I'm a real estate consultant based in the city of Enugu, and I create content like this to help smart individuals like you make secure and profitable real estate investments. See you in the next one.